Okay, so today let us look at orthogonal polynomials. Okay, so what are orthogonal polynomials? Basically, there are certain kind of special functions. So you will be knowing those special functions. So I will be teaching those special functions little later. So these orthogonal polynomials are part of special functions. So right now let us understand certain properties of these orthogonal polynomials. So consider a abstract vector phi n, get phi n, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. Now you know that this will give you a function of x, right? So a function of x. So now you call this as phi n of x. Okay. So each n you get different phi of x. So phi 0 of x, phi 1 of x, phi 2 of x, etc. So now the question is, so now we call these are orthogonal polynomials. So what do you mean by orthogonal polynomials? So that means this get phi n bra phi m, okay, which is equal to some normalization constant a n m delta n m. Okay. So a n m delta n m. So this vectors get phi n are orthogonal to other vectors in that. So they actually form a basis vector. Now this phi n of x are polynomials of order n. Okay. So phi n of x are polynomial of order n. So that is why they are called now the orthogonal polynomials. So get phi n, bra phi m will give you a n m delta n m, and phi n of x is equal to bra x get phi n, and these phi n of x are all polynomials of order n. So this orthogonality condition is there for the abstract vector get phi n. Now we want the completeness relation also. So what will be the, so in terms of the get vectors phi n, this is the orthogonality relation. So what will be the completeness relation? So completeness relation will be summation. So this n, when I say n goes up to infinity. Okay. So n is equal to 0, 1, 2, infinity. So this n is equal to 0 to infinity, get phi n because there is a n m there. So I can write down this is for each one a n. So this also having, okay, let us root n. I can just write a n, no issue. So because when n is equal to m, it is just a n. Okay, so a n n I am just writing it as or I don't require a n m here, just a n is sufficient. Okay, because when n is not equal to m, it is 0. So there is no coefficient. When n is equal to m, there is one a n. So this is equal to identity. So this is the completeness relation for this vectors ket phi n. This is the orthogonality relation. So now we have to find out the orthogonality relation and completeness relation for the polynomials phi n of x. So in general, you know that the polynomials, if you just take minus infinity to infinity, suppose your polynomial is x square plus x, suppose this is your polynomial. So if I do find out the norm of this, whether that will be a square integrable? No, right? Because if I integrate dx mod f of x is a real one, okay. So if I do this, this is not a square integrable. So the polynomials in general actually not a square integrable functions. So what we require is, we want to impose some kind of square integrability for these polynomials. So that we will take care when you actually do the integration. So now you have to look at so I have introduced a weight function here. So this weight function will take care about the square integrability of these functions phi n of x. Okay. So this weight function rho of x will take care about the square integrability of the polynomial. Basically phi n of x itself won't be a square integrable, but phi n of x into rho of x will be square integrable. We discussed this earlier, one of our earlier classes. Okay. So that is what we want to do. So let us now look at, so now you have this relation. So what we learned earlier was minus infinity, so there is an integral here. So let me put that integral. So dx, so I forgot to write that. So you remember earlier we did not have this rho of x into the expression. We had minus infinity to infinity ds ket x bra x is equal to identity operator. That was the completeness relation for the eigenspace ket x. Now you are looking at a space where there is a weight function is introduced. Okay. So this quantity is equal to identity operator. Now if that is the case, what happens to the orthogonality relation for phi n of x? So that is what we want now. So you have this one. So I can write this is equal to bra phi m identity operator ket phi n, which is equal to a n delta n m. Right? Phi m. Okay. Bra phi m identity operator ket phi n is equal to a n delta n m. Now substitute this completeness relation for the basis vectors ket x here. Okay, so you substitute this identity operator here. So you get integral minus infinity to infinity dx rho of x ket x bra x phi n, right. So this is equal to a n delta n m. So what is this equal to? So I can take this subtract vector inside the integral. So I can write down this as integral minus infinity to infinity dx rho of x bra phi m x bra x phi n, which is equal to a n delta n. So what is this bra phi m ket x? What is that equal to? Phi star. So right now let us say that your phi m of x or phi n of x are complex in general. Okay. Later on we will just stick to the real polynomials. So right now you can, for writing this purpose, let us take a complex thing. So no issue. So this is equal to minus infinity to infinity dx rho of x. So this is phi star m of x. What is bra x phi n of x? Phi n of x, which is equal to a n delta n. So this is basically the orthogonality relation for those polynomials which are basically basis vectors. So this rho of x will take care about the square integrability of those polynomials. So this one we got. Now we have to write down the completeness relation for these polynomials. So that also, so before writing down the completeness relation, because now we have to understand something more about this one. What we said that dx rho of x ket x bra x equal to I. So suppose I have an abstract vector f. Okay. So I act this identity operator on this. So what will I get? Minus infinity to infinity dx rho of x ket x bra x f. Right? So this is same as this, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because this is integration variable, I can just substitute to x prime, right? No issue, right? Instead of x, I have written x prime. Fine?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is, now you act bra x from the left hand side. So what you get in the here left hand side? Bra x, suppose I do this, bra x ket f, which is equal to minus, this will be f of x, right? And minus infinity to infinity dx prime rho of x prime So what is bra x prime ket f? By definition?
So f of
So this left hand side is f of x, right? So f of x is equal to minus infinity to infinity dx prime rho of x prime bra x ket x prime f of x prime. Fine? Then what should be this one? What this quantity should be? Yeah?
the 1.
Okay, there are two answers I can hear. One is answer is 1, other one is delta x minus s prime. Okay. So just think about that, whether which answer is correct or both of them are wrong. Okay. So if bra x ket x prime, is it equal to 1? See, these are continuous basis. Okay. So in the continuous basis, without this rho of x, this one, bra x ket x prime is never be a 1 or chronicle delta. Okay. Because you see f of x you should get from this integration. Okay. Now the second answer bra x ket x prime, if you write that is equal to delta x minus x prime. Suppose you substitute that, bra x ket x prime equal to delta x minus x prime. Will you get this equal to f of x?
No, sir.
You will not get. So what you should do?
Sir, I think there also will be a 1 by rho terms.
There will be
Delta. Sir, I think it will be something like delta x minus x prime by rho of x or something. So substituting that is satisfying.
yeah. So if you substitute delta x minus s prime, you will not get this is equal to f of x. What you will get? You get rho of x into f of x, right? If you substitute bra x ket x prime is equal to delta, suppose you substitute delta x minus x prime instead of this. Okay. Suppose you substitute this. So the answer is, using the Dirac delta function property, you get the answer, this right hand side answer is equal to rho of x into f of x. But we have f of x. So obviously this is not equal to delta x minus x prime. This is equal to, you can have a different options. So one option is, so see, we are now moved to a different space where the ket x form a basis and its completeness relation is given like this, where there is a weight function has been added. In that case, the inner product between those two vectors, one thing you can guess from this is delta x minus x prime divided by rho of yes. If I substitute that, will that be correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I substitute something else?
Yes, sir.
What else you can do?
Delta x minus x prime by rho x.
Delta x minus x prime divided by rho of
Rho of x.
rho of x. So that is also same as that. Anything else? Whoever has a question regarding this, you just substitute. First you substitute this one here, see whether you get f of x. You substitute this one here, you see whether you get f of x. So is there any third option? What about delta x minus x prime divided by square root of rho of x prime? What about if I substitute this one?
Yes, sir. That's also.
So this is basically equally weighted, okay, because there is an x and s prime. So you can do both, but as a general case you can write down this. So equally weighted on x and s prime. So we will use this one now onwards. Okay. So this is the orthogonality relation for the basis x, okay, a general space, okay, to make that your the polynomial functions, okay, in that space means square integrable, okay. So certain cases, see the rho of x depends on what kind of space you are looking at. Some cases rho of x will simply become 1, okay, that is the usual case. You get bra x get x prime is equal to just delta x minus x prime, okay. So this is the orthogonality relation. So now we have this completeness relation, that is for the get phi n, which we have written earlier, get phi n divided by root a n bra phi n root a n, which is equal to identity. Okay. So now I want all of you to do one small calculation, that is you bra x you act from the left hand side and x prime you act from the right hand side of this, so that the right hand side, this one will be, what will be the right hand side you get if you do bra x from the left hand side and get x prime in the right hand side, what you get in the right hand side?
Delta x minus x prime divided by under root x.
Okay, delta x minus x prime divided by square root of rho of x, rho of x prime. Good. So I want all of you to do a quick calculation. The left hand side you do now. Okay. So just give me the answer after doing bra x and get x prime on this expression. Okay, so what is it? So what do you get if you do that? Summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. This one I can write it as 1 by n, no issue. Okay. And so what is the first term?
Phi n star of x.
Pi n star of x. Then
Phi n of x prime.
is it phi n star of x or phi n of
Sorry sir, phi n.
phi n of x? Then next is phi n.
Phi n star of x prime.
Phi n of, yeah, 1 is star. Okay. So this is x prime, right? Yes or no?
Yes sir.
Yes. So that is equal to delta x minus x prime divided by rho x into rho x prime. So what I can do is I can just take that rho of x into rho of x prime square root in the left hand side. So what I get is summation n is equal to 0 to infinity rho of x into rho of x prime square root divided by a n phi n of x phi n star of x prime, which is equal to delta x minus x prime. So this is the completeness relation for these polynomials. So orthogonality relation we have written earlier. What was the orthogonality relation we have written earlier? Integral dx minus infinity to infinity,
rho h
rho of x
phi n star phi n star of x phi n of x equal to a n delta n. So there should be
is it
there should be m first term, the second term is n. Phi n.
okay, it actually does not matter because it is for any n and m, okay, so
Okay.
it does not matter because this is for any n is equal to 1 to infinity and m is equal to 1 to infinity, so that is not an issue. So this is the orthogonality relation for the polynomials phi n of x, and this is the completeness relation for the that same polynomial, okay. So and this is what you have Brahe's ket x prime, which is having this inner product. There is another relation we have, important thing we have studied is integral minus infinity to infinity dx rho of x so now you learn this basically 4 expressions, okay. So here also I can actually make it more general. Instead of making minus infinity to infinity, I can think about any interval a to b, okay. So any interval a to b, so no need not be in the infinite interval, okay. So this one you can take any a to b. In that space you have then this relation. So in that case this also become, the orthogonality relation also become some interval a to b. Remainings are the same, okay. So because the polynomials we are going to consider will have a different intervals. There are certain polynomials, this Hermite polynomials, interval a is minus infinity, b is infinity. If you look at the Legendre polynomial, this will be from minus 1 to 1. If it is a Laguerre polynomial, it is from 0 to infinity. So there are Chebyshev polynomials, so many polynomials are there. So you are going to learn some of the polynomials you learn from my class, some other polynomials you will be learning from maybe from the avionics, when they talk about the electronics and the Chebyshev polynomials are very important for electronic circuits and all. So yeah, so these 4 relations are very crucial relations, so you learn it, okay. So now next question is, because the phi n of x form a basis, so if I take any function f of x, I can expand in terms of these polynomials. So how do I expand? Okay. So this is the much importance of the polynomials basically. Okay. Because this so many numerical algorithms are created using this property. Okay. So because the phi n of x form a basis, I can write down any function f of x in terms of phi n of x. So in that case, how do I write down? Is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity fn some coefficient phi n of x. Okay. So any function, any square integrable function in that space can be written in terms of the orthogonal polynomials phi n of x. So I have this relation. So obviously you will ask the question, what is fn is equal to? So what is fn equal to? How do I find out fn? How do I find out fn?
Acting on 0, 1, 2, 3 different states.
So you want Fn out of this, no? So what we will do is I will actually multiply this with phi star m, okay? So now onwards let us just think about the real functions, okay? So this complex part, let us real polynomials and real functions, let us not worry about the complex thing now. So I multiply with the phi m of x, then multiply with the rho of x, then integrate from a to b. What I get in the right hand side? What will I get? So I just multiplied with rho of x and phi m of x. Then you have fn phi n of x integrated. Then integrated. What is this equal to?
The limit should be a to b.
Yeah, yes. Limit should be a to b, yes. So what is this equal to? A to b rho of x phi m of x fn phi n of x dx. Fn is anyway constant, so that you can take outside because integration is over x. So what is rho of x phi m of x phi n of x dx?
Orthogonality relation.
Orthogonality relation you apply, that is equal to a n delta n m, right? So that is equal to a n delta n m. What is this equal to? Fm am. So what you get? Fm is equal to, or Fn is equal to integral a to b 1 by a n rho of x phi n of x f of x dx. So if I expand any function in terms of the orthogonal polynomials, I can do that for a square integral functions. Then that coefficients you can find out using this equation. Okay? Yeah.
Orthogonal there was one complex conjugate like phi star x.
Yes. In between I said that now onwards we will be looking at only the real functions and real polynomials. Okay? So when I written the expression, I written it for a general polynomials. Now I am only looking at the real polynomials and real functions. So the phi m star x is equal to phi m of x. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if you have understood so far, can you tell me the answer for this question? I have an integral, any interval a to b dx phi m of x x raised to n rho of x, where n is less than m. N is less than m. What will be the answer for this? Anybody? N is less than m, integral a to b dx phi m of x x power n rho of x.
identity.
No. I'll give you 15 more seconds or 1 more minute. After that, I'll give you the answer. Then you justify that answer if you can't find the answer. Okay. You just think about some more time. See, without doing any calculations, by giving a logical explanation, this answer should be something. Okay. Yeah?
Sir, 0.
Answer is 0. You have to give me the justification.
So just by logic, I have
Yeah, what is the logic?
n equals to when you put n equals to 1, then x to power n should be less than 1. So means this type of GP which is going down and down and down. So at last, on summing up, we get 0. Like that. Means always power should be less than n.
Okay, so but why that explanation?
Sir,
Mm.
I think it's 0 because if you look at the integral right above the equation you wrote, since you said n should be greater than n, it cannot be equal, and the Kronecker delta will then become 0.
Yes, almost. Okay, so I'll give you the answer. Okay, clear answer. See, x power n, is it a polynomial or what? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Any polynomial of order n, you can write it in terms of, you can expand in terms of any polynomial, any phi n of x of the order less than or equal to n. Yes? So, this is one special case. So, any polynomial, you take any polynomial p n of x. Okay? Any polynomial p n of x where n can be written in terms of polynomial phi, say m of m, let us not put m, l, okay, and some fl where l is equal to 1 to n. Is it correct? I don't have to go up to infinity.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I can do this, right? So, this is phi mx is actually 1 above, right? So, at least 1 above, because m is greater than n. So, this I can even no need to put this x power n, I can put just p n of x. Is it 0? P n of x, phi m of x, rho of x dx, is it 0? Obviously, because this sum is going up to n only, and phi m is orthogonal to all of the other. So, phi m will be orthogonal to any polynomial less than or equal to less than that, right? According to orthogonality relation. So, x power n is one of the special case of P n of x. Okay. So, so I hope all of you understood it. Okay. So, this quantity is also 0 where n is less than n. Okay.
There is a type of inner product that we are getting 0 because every phi n and m are orthogonal to each other.
Every phi m and n are, if m is not equal to n, they are orthogonal to each other. Okay. So, because Pn of x contains only the polynomials up to m, not including m. Okay. So, obviously they are all orthogonal. Okay. Because you can write P, yeah, because Pn of x I can expand it in this. So that this is, so you have to substitute this one there, then you can see that L is less than or less than M. So it will, the integral, all terms in that integral goes to 0 because of the orthogonality relation. Okay. Any other question? Okay, if there is no other question, I will stop here now.